You finally decide to buy your child that one special toy, the one they pointed at, again and again while walking through the store. Maybe it wasn't cheap. Maybe you spent days deciding whether it was worth it. You bring it home. Their eyes light up. For a moment, you feel proud. This is going to make them so happy. But before the day is over, one wheel is missing, the battery cover is gone. The buttons don't work anymore. Pieces are scattered across the floor. And standing in the middle of it all is your child. Not crying, not scared, not even sorry. Just curious. If you've ever looked at that scene and wondered, why do kids keep breaking everything? You're not alone. Almost every parent at some point has asked the exact same question. Some think children don't value things. Others believe they're careless. Some even worry, am I raising a child who doesn't respect anything? But what if almost everything we've assumed about this behavior is wrong? What if that broken toy isn't the real story? What if the real story is happening inside your child's brain? Because what looks like destruction may actually be one of the oldest learning strategies our species has ever known. Imagine for just a moment that you've arrived on an alien planet. Everything around you is unfamiliar. The plants, the animals, the buildings, the objects. Someone hands you a strange device. There are no instructions, no labels, no internet. How would you figure out what it does? You'd probably press it, turn it, shake it, tap it, pull it apart. You'd experiment, not because you wanted to destroy it, but because you wanted to understand it. Now remember, that's exactly how your child experiences our world. Adults forget this, because we've already solved thousands of everyday mysteries. We know what a spoon is for, why doors open, how cups work, why a light switch changes the room. We don't even think about it anymore. Our brains have already built those answers. But a toddler hasn't. To them, every object is a question waiting to be answered. They don't see a remote control, they see a mystery. Their brain isn't asking, what is this? It's asking, what happens if? What happens if I throw it? What happens if I press this button? What happens if I twist this? What happens if I pull really hard? What happens if I shake it? What happens if I drop it? Again, every movement is a question. Every question is an experiment. And every experiment helps build a better understanding of how the world works. Now think about something almost every parent has experienced. You're sitting at the dining table. Your baby smiles, looks directly into your eyes, and slowly pushes a spoon towards the edge. You know exactly what's coming. Clang. The spoon hits the floor. You pick it up. Smile. Hand it back. A few seconds later, they do it again. Clang. Again. Clang. Again. After the 5th or 10th time, it starts feeling personal. You might even think they know exactly what they're doing. And you're right. They do. Just not for the reason you think. To your child, this isn't a game of annoying you. It's research. The first time they dropped the spoon, their brain noticed. It disappeared. Then it made a sound. Interesting. So they repeated it. The same sound, the same result. Now they drop a soft toy. Different sound, different speed. Then a plastic cup. It bounces. Then a biscuit. It breaks. Then a ball. It rolls away. Without realizing it, your child has begun comparing weight, sound, speed, shape, and movement. No textbook, no teacher, no classroom, just observation. Scientists have a name for this. They call it experimentation. Children simply call it play. Here's something fascinating. Adults often think learning happens when children are sitting quietly, listening, watching, repeating. But for most of human history, that's not how children learned at all. Long before schools existed, children learned by touching, by climbing, by throwing, by taking things apart, by making mistakes, by trying again, because information that enters through the hands often stays in the brain far longer than information that only enters through the ears. In fact, modern brain imaging has shown that when young children actively explore objects, multiple regions of the brain become involved at once. Areas responsible for movement, vision, touch, planning, memory, even prediction. Their brain isn't just seeing an object, it's building a complete understanding of it. And here's where things become even more interesting. Children don't just want to know what something is. They want to know what it's made of. Think about it. How many times Has your child opened a tissue box just to pull every tissue out, or emptied an entire drawer that took you 20 minutes to organize, or removed every block from its container, only to ignore them afterward? To adults, it feels pointless. To children, it's discovery. Because hidden inside every object is another mystery: what's underneath. What's inside? What changes when I pull this? What happens if I keep going? Adults satisfy curiosity with Google. Children don't have Google. Their hands are their search engine, their fingers are the mouse, their experiments are the search results. Now let's travel back. Not 100 years, not 1,000, but nearly 200,000 years. Imagine a child growing up, not in a house, but in the wild. There were no plastic toys, no batteries, no screens, no instruction manuals. That child learned about the world by exploring it. They twisted branches to discover which ones bent and which ones snapped. They cracked open nuts to find food. They broke dead wood to see what insects lived inside. They threw stones to learn how far they traveled. They splashed water to understand its movement. Curiosity wasn't entertainment. It was survival. The children who explored understood their environment better. And understanding the environment, it often meant staying alive. Generation after generation, that curiosity was rewarded. Eventually, it became part of us. Thousands of generations later, the world changed. Wood became plastic. Stone became electronics. Nature became apartments. But children's brains never received the update. The ancient drive to explore is still there. Only now, instead of pulling apart branches, they pull apart toy cars. Instead of studying stones, they study television remotes. Instead of investigating shells, they investigate your house keys. The instinct is the same, only the objects have changed. But here's something important. Understanding this doesn't mean allowing children to destroy everything. Curiosity deserves guidance, not unlimited freedom. Children also need to learn that some things belong to everyone. Some things are fragile. Some things are expensive, and some things can be dangerous. The goal isn't to stop curiosity. The goal is to give curiosity a safer direction. Old cardboard boxes, building blocks, magnetic tiles, large construction toys, old kitchen containers, safe objects that can be opened, stacked, connected, taken apart, and explored. When children have opportunities to investigate safely, they're often less tempted to experiment with things they shouldn't touch. There's another reason this matters. Every time your child predicts what will happen, and reality surprises them, their brain changes. Scientists call this a prediction error. Your child expects the block to float. It sinks. The brain updates. They expect the ball to stop immediately. Instead, it rolls farther. The brain updates again. Learning doesn't happen because children are always right. Learning happens because reality corrects their expectations. Every unexpected result builds a more accurate picture of the world. In other words, those tiny experiments that sometimes test your patience are also shaping how your child thinks for years to come. Of course, every parent has to set limits. If your child reaches for the television or throws someone's phone, it's okay to stop them firmly, without shame, because discipline and curiosity are not enemies. Children need both. They need the freedom to explore, and they need adults to show them where the boundaries are. The healthiest childhood isn't one without rules. It's one where curiosity has room to grow inside safe limits. So, the next time you discover another broken toy, another missing button, another pile of mysterious pieces, pause for just a second before frustration takes over. Ask yourself, were they trying to destroy it? Or were they trying to understand it? Sometimes what looks like a mess is actually a mind working exactly as nature designed it to work. Because children aren't born knowing how the world works. They build that understanding, one question, one experiment, and sometimes one broken toy at a time. And perhaps the greatest challenge of parenting isn't protecting every object from your child's curiosity. It's protecting your child's curiosity while teaching them how to care for the world they're so eager to understand.